I was never going to be a men's physique.
Didn't have much of an off season.
I like his physique better.
I'm always very energetic. I will have to put me as one of the greatest.
Mr. Olympia was won by the back.
You know, I see a lot of debates online, and I want you to clarify that actually. So the people are debating basically, some saying that the steroids are not the magic pill. And basically, you know, it's all about the hard work, and steroids just add very little to bodybuilding career. Some people say it's all about the steroids, you know, when it comes to a bodybuilder. So in your opinion, how much steroids contribute to a mass monster?
Great question. Steroids are absolute miracles. Absolute miracle. They're not pills, right? They're injections and pills. Okay, so steroids have been around since the 1940s, let's be honest, 1950s. And by the 1960s, we were done. We had 400 steroids, Tren, Anavar. That's how I started the Anabolic Doc YouTube channel. I reviewed every probably 50 most common steroids, right? There's TRT, there's DN, there's testosterone derived, NOR19 derived, and DHT derived. There you go. 3 steroid classes since the 1930s and 40s. There you go. They are absolute freakish. They take someone that has good genetics and hard work and good diet and an ethic and a monster. And, you know, I've taken care of the top guys in the world of powerlifting and strongmen and some power bodybuilders. I've turned off the bodybuilders decades ago, so that's okay. They take a lot of drugs and insulin, and I've never ever been able to get my head around that. And I've been aggressive to them and saying that, you know, it's full body dysmorphia. Now, I've worked, give me a strong guy that just wants to lift something up and put it down. So I've worked, and I still work with the strongest men in the world. They don't do insulin, right? They don't do insulin. Strong men don't do insulin. And they don't do anti-estrogens because they don't give it. They like estrogen because you start blocking estrogen, you're going to start rupturing tendons. So, okay. So I don't want to get into the chemical complications here, but in the end, when I work with the big strong guys, you know, they just like to take some steroids and to be very spiritual and to get that incredible high of being so strong and superhuman. And that I've always tried to see. I want to block the effects. I want to block so I've developed protocols to protect their heart. I don't, you know, steroids are miracle agents. So but the top guys in the world, Vlad, have 3 things: best genetics, no kidding, because they respond to steroids, right? And they have the top diet and behavior. You know, there have been bodybuilders in the world that have been alcoholic and cigarette smokers and drug users, and it's limited their ability. If that guy only wasn't an alcoholic, he would have been the top guy in the world. So with that,
what I hear a lot of the times is that they say, "We'll take steroids out of the equation, and the best guys in the world will still be the best guys in the world."
I agree with that's true. It's true.
But they would not be on that level as far as muscularity. Basically.
But no one would be. Look at Ronnie Coleman. Look at Ronnie Coleman before he took Ronnie Coleman. You know, you've seen that. Wait a minute. You made the documentary. I mean, Ronnie Coleman trained natural up until, I don't know, 25. What was it? 25 or something, and then maybe more. And then he got, you know, he was kind of like, God damn, what am I doing? And then he started taking steroids. And how do you know it's true? In the next 10 years, he gained like 100 pounds of muscle of body. So Ronnie Coleman, it would be Ronnie Coleman versus Ronnie Coleman on enhanced. Come on, Vlad. So it would be Ronnie, Flex. It would be all the top guys. Now, here's the difference. Some men, here's the secret. Some men genetically without steroids are incredible. They look great. They're strong. They're limited. Some men they have genes for responding more than men that are just natural. So this is an equation where this is a new game player where it's like, wait a minute, Doc, it's not true. There are guys that would never be up in the top, but they're super responders. Boom. It's not an overlapping Venn diagram where you have this one subgroup where they're the top in the world naturally, and then they're going to be the top when they do steroids. And then think about this. Some of the, then it's like, how much steroids do you take? What kind of steroids? Growth hormone, insulin, IGF.
There's so many men that I've heard so many stories of people just almost killing themselves taking so much stuff, but the genetics are so bad that it doesn't matter. I mean, they're still not going to be close to what the bodybuilders look like, even though they take everything in the world.
I see that. That's where it's
That's where the sad part comes in, right? They'll never be. They're just going to like destroy themselves in the process.
Vlad, every day. So going back to your first question, have I changed my mind? And what about a young guy who's on steroids? Vlad, that is the guy I'm trying to reach out to now. So is it, but is there a difference if you're going to be a pro and you're going to use a little bit? So the top guy can use this much steroid. He's still going to have medical complications. Come on, Vlad. It's every single one. When you're 45 or 50, there's no free lunch, Vlad. But if a guy uses this much, he's just going to have the complications worse and more early. Come on, Vlad, common sense. So how much drug do you have to take? And I see it every day because I take the histories. I still have to have a jaw strap for how much drugs that these men will pump into their bodies. It's pretty freakish.
What about if people will say to you, well, doctor, it's an extreme sport, I know what I'm doing. While I'm competing, this is going to be an extreme sport for me. I might die doing it, just like any other extreme sports. And that's what it is, like look at Dorian Yates, for example, right? I don't mean to use his name, but like, for example, he was a competitive bodybuilder. He became one of the greatest. And then after he retired, he basically, he went into a healthy life. And now he's all about, about being healthy and, eating once, twice a day, whatever. He changed his whole mentality. But while he was competing, he did what he had to do,
Yeah. I don't know Dorian, and he's been very honest. He's a great guy. I think he's a year older than me. We don't know Dorian's health consequence. We don't know what's going on inside his body, and we don't know how long Dorian's going to live for. Maybe Dorian took off 20 years of his life, Vlad.
I see what you're saying. No, I understand what you're saying, and that's a good point. We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. These men suffer quietly. Now, I know. I don't know him. I know in this mind, because who comes to see me, Vlad? They come to see me and they tell me the truth with their wife, their children, their mothers, and there's a lot of tears because they have heart disease and kidney disease, and they have psychiatric disease, severe erectile dysfunction. How many guys am I trying to get fertile? I'm probably 90% I'm probably 90%. I have a 90% success rate with getting steroid users fertile, but I'm not 100%. I have to use fertility urology doctors, and we all fail. So there's all sorts of side effects. And if that young guy thinks he's going to be a warrior, and he's going to be, Doc, I know it's risky. Sir, I respect you. I'm asking you, as a young man, what is this man, 23, 19, 23, 25? He's a young man. I'm asking this man to please reconsider and find something else. And it's called sublimation, right, Vlad? Sublimation. Take that energy and put it somewhere else because, brother, at least you're going to be on testosterone for the rest of your life. That's 100% guaranteed. Did you know that, Vlad? Did you know that?
I've heard about it. Yeah. After you get off.
100%.